Can't you wait until 5 years from now when we're all saying, psh, remember Kang? What a chump.
Pathetic.
Kang the Conqueror may be the biggest threat the MCU has seen so far, but trust me when I say there are much worse forces in the universe to choose from. Let's take a look at the characters who pose a bigger threat to the multiverse right now. One of the biggest baddies in the Marvel Universe is Galactus. Dude could eat our planet like one of those chocolate Wonder Balls, and the prize inside is a dead Celestial turned to stone. Galactus is a being of incredible celestial power whose hunger has led to the destruction of countless worlds. It takes nearly every hero in the Marvel lexicon to beat him at his most powerful, and even then it's a coin flip. Whether he takes the form of a giant man or a large cloud, no world in any universe is safe from being devoured. Kang may take over 1 million universes, but all it takes is for Galactus to miss his morning snack, and any of those worlds are ripe for consumption. Galactus is truthfully probably the next Avengers level threat after Kang. He's probably the most well-known threat who could actually outdo the Master of Time. Believe it or not, we've actually already seen greater threats to the multiverse than Kang in the MCU. In fact, some of them are still kicking around, trapped in a pocket dimension just waiting to be let loose. That is the case with Arnim Zola. After Infinity Ultron went on his multiversal rampage in the What If animated TV series, the Guardians of the Multiverse with the help of Black Widow uploaded the consciousness of Arnim Zola into Ultron's body to defeat him. However, they created a much larger problem. Arnim Zola had the brain power to defeat the smartest algorithm ever invented by the great Tony Stark, but was then put in position to replace him. The only thing holding Arnim Zola back with the full might of the Infinity Stones and the multiversal abilities of Ultron is his brief fight over the stones with Killmonger, which became a moment frozen in time. The two became trapped in a pocket dimension to be watched by Dark Strange. And honestly, if he takes a nap, he risks releasing a villain much worse than Kang. The introduction of mutants into the MCU would certainly bring along just as many overly powered villains as it would heroes. And listen, I don't like to judge people, but when your name is Apocalypse, I have to assume you have less than stellar intentions. And Sabah Nur was the first mutant who grew to be the most powerful. The reason Apocalypse packs more of a punch than Kang is his ability to take the power of others. Throughout a millennia, he has used this to expand his arsenal of powers to become stacked and nearly unkillable. If Apocalypse decided to go after the power of America Chavez, for example, he would quickly have access to an untold number of universes where no normal scientist from 4,000 years in the future could hope to stand a chance against him. Kang's strong, but there isn't a single power Apocalypse can't acquire. Some of the most powerful alien beings in the Marvel Universe belong to the Clintar species, better known as symbiotes. The likes of Venom, Carnage, and many more have been causing problems for heroes for who knows how long at this point. However, while symbiotes like these can cause mayhem on a planet or even in a universe, their leader just may be able to rival the Conqueror of Time. Knull is better known as the symbiote god. He created the symbiotes and rules over them as their Lord of Darkness. He is the nexus point of the symbiote hive mind, meaning he quite literally has eyes in every corner of the galaxy. The hive mind may prove to be so strong that it even reaches across universes. With his horde of symbiotes, Knull has the ability to turn the multiverse into one big sludge-filled mess. It's not only villains who pose a serious threat to the multiverse, and in fact, we've already seen several versions of one of our favorite heroes cause disastrous consequences for the multiverse as a whole. According to the Illuminati of Earth 838, the most significant threat to the stability of the multiverse is Dr. Stephen Strange. And truthfully, it makes sense when you think about it. A dark and all-powerful version of Stephen destroyed his own universe in the What If TV series. The 838 Stephen became consumed by the Darkhold and caused an incursion that entirely wiped out another universe. And the Doctor Strange we know of Earth 616 is on course to do the same thing. Stephen Strange may be good and one of the greatest heroes there is at heart, but his meddling with the multiverse could be what causes its destruction. The tale of Michael Korvac is an interesting one. It's the story of a lowly computer technician becoming one of the most powerful people in the Marvel multiverse. After betraying humankind in his universe, he joined up with an evil alien brotherhood who combined him with the very computer he worked on. This turned him into a cyborg, but unknowingly opened him up to the ability to destroy the multiverse. As a cyborg with unique alien properties, Korvac learned how to download any powers he wanted. He became so powerful that he even possessed the abilities of the Grand Master, and eventually even that of the mighty Galactus. Michael Korvac grew out of control into such an unstoppable threat that even the combined efforts of the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers could not stop him. Aegis is one of the two elders of the cosmos given unfathomable power by the Diableri of Chaos. She can match strength and speed with the likes of Galactus, and once used these abilities to wreak havoc on an unsuspecting universe, until Galactus himself had to imprison her. Aegis has a unique ability that makes her not only a threat to her universe, but to every other one. She can gather, store, and redistribute an unlimited amount of cosmic energy. Essentially, this type of power gives the wielder the power to travel to and from, as well as conquer any universe. Aegis is seemingly an infinite number of years old and cannot die, meaning she doesn't need 100 different variants to make herself an Avengers level threat. As stated, the X-Men bring with them not only a large assortment of heroes, but villains as well. One of the most powerful who has not yet been featured in any live-action film or series is a character known as Onslaught. Two of the most synonymous mutants are Professor X and Magneto. Constantly at odds with how to achieve mutant freedom, the two have done battle for ages. At one point, Professor X had had enough and shut down Eric's consciousness. This caused the two psionic entities of these two powerful characters to merge into one new physical manifestation known as Onslaught. Probably the coolest looking villain in my opinion, Onslaught also has the power to bring singular universes to their breaking point. With the combination of two genius minds, I'm sure he could find a way to access the rest of the multiverse as well. The Black Winter is a cosmic multiversal being that, let's just say, caused a lot of problems in a whole lot of universes. On Earth 616, the Black Winter hunted down Galactus, chasing him all the way to Asgard, where he found Thor and made him the Herald of Thunder. Imbued with the power cosmic, Thor and Galactus fought the Black Winter together, but to no avail. Even Thor's strongest moves could not touch the entity. Eventually, the Black Winter killed Galactus, and in a last-ditch effort, Thor, the Herald of Thunder, used Galactus's body as a bomb to finally defeat the multiversal cosmic threat. The Black Winter is the lesser known but possibly biggest threat to the multiverse there is. His uninhibited travel and capacity for destruction could bring the multiverse to its knees, before Kang even has a chance to say freeze. Tenebrous is another ancient god like Aegis, with the strength, size, and might to take down even Galactus. Are you starting to notice a pattern that Galactus is sort of the benchmark as to whether or not you could destroy the multiverse? He and all the other proemial gods were tasked with the assignment of shaping the newly born universe into what it would eventually become. Tenebrous was in charge of the matter that made up all things in the universe, meaning he literally watches over the foundation. Tenebrous does have some weaknesses, but overall the power he was given makes him one of the most influential and dangerous beings in the universe. Unlike some other ancient gods, he is killable, but it's Tenebrous who is responsible for the very material that makes up any weapon capable of bringing him down. Should this guy gain access to the multiverse, he could pull apart universes like mozzarella sticks. Not all of the greatest threats to the multiverse are villains. Some are heroes, as we've seen with Doctor Strange, but some are definitely somewhere in between. The merc with a mouth, Deadpool, has definitely shown us that he's not afraid to tamper with the time-space continuum, whether it be on the pages of comic books or in live action. At the end of Deadpool 2, he took Cable's time travel device, saved his girlfriend, killed an alternate universe version of himself, and even traveled to the real world to kill the actor who plays him. In the comics, a variant of Deadpool has gone so far as to kill the entire universe, including the writers writing the very comic book he was in. This is a meta level of power wielded in goofy and ridiculous ways that really does have the power to bring everything crumbling down much faster than Kang ever could. Some of the greatest villains rule their own dimensions, and they are so powerful that the best heroes can do is try to make sure they stay where they are, and not spill over into their own universes. Annihilus rules over the negative zone and is the leader of a bug-like race. He seeks to destroy anyone who would threaten his existence, and has been able to take possession of such powerful weapons like the Control Rod. Annihilus constantly seeks to extend his own lifespan, and has been responsible for waging some of the most casualty-heavy wars against Marvel heroes. Several pocket dimensions have already been introduced in the MCU, such as the village of Ta Lo, and the negative zone is often associated with giving the Fantastic Four their powers. Annihilus, or at least his hometown, could be coming to the MCU very soon, and once he gains access outside the negative zone, the Avengers might be wishing they were dealing with the Conqueror instead. Much like Thanos, the Diableri of Chaos started out as a big fan of balance. As the name would suggest, he is responsible for introducing chaos into the universe. Once the universe achieved this balance, there was really no need for any of the gods that helped shape it. The Diableri of Chaos became obsolete, but much like the name would suggest, he just couldn't stop there. Once the world achieved perfect order, he had to introduce more chaos. He sent the entire universe into a civil war between the gods. His chaos sprites, yes, those are things, bring his chaos to every corner of the universe. As an ancient god, he has immeasurable power, and if one day he decided that the multiverse needed a little extra chaos, then there's not much Kang could do about it. Jean Grey is a leading member of the X-Men who famously in the comics gets overtaken by a cosmic entity known as the Phoenix Force, and transforms into one of the most powerful villains in the universe, the Dark Phoenix. Not only does this introduce a powerful villain, but also a cosmic power that could inhabit any character. The Force itself is neutral, but it gives the beholder the power to conquer the universe. It boosts their power to such a degree that no time-traveling conqueror could hope to match up against them. It all depends who it inhabits. And even if it is a hero, we've seen some of them lose their mind before and nearly destroy the entire world. In the Earth 616 timeline, a man by the name of Owen Reese was chosen by the Beyonders to be the Molecule Man of that universe. The Molecule Man possessed a small fraction of the Beyonders' power, which is still unbelievably outpacing just about any other power known, and was made to be a sort of bomb as a failsafe to destroy the entire universe. Overall, the Molecule Man has taken part in fights against the Fantastic Four, and popular comic stories such as Secret Wars. The very power possessed by a singular Molecule Man could destroy every version of Kang with the snap of his fingers. However, it's likely his bosses that would really do the damage to the multiverse that Kang only dreams of. Some of the best villains are alter egos of the best heroes, and makes fighting them extremely difficult for Marvel's most honorable. Take the Hulk for example. Heroes definitely need to stop the threat but don't want to permanently hurt their friend. This is extremely true for the hero Adam Warlock, and he's not the only one. Adam Warlock has an extremely powerful and villainous alter ego known as the Magus, responsible for some of the greatest destruction and carnage in the comics. The surprise for this one really comes from the fact that it took this long to be introduced to Adam Warlock, who will officially debut in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and has had a close nemesis in Thanos, who is likely gone before Adam even arrives. However, the Magus possesses incredible power, and has the potential to do more damage than Kang should he gain access to the multiverse. As WandaVision was premiering, everyone and their mother's mother would have bet all of their allowance that Mephisto would be revealed to be the large villain controlling everything. However, that would prove to be false, as we learned it was Agatha all along. Marvel's version of the literal devil obviously poses a serious threat to any hero, villain, or anti-hero. The ruler of the underworld and an all-powerful demon, Mephisto has taken part in several popular comic storylines, including Thanos' original search for the Infinity Stones. Mephisto is tricky, and responsible for cursing some characters, including the Ghost Rider. His power of the deal has royally screwed over the lives of millions of people throughout time, and with the dark reaches of the universe that the MCU is reaching towards, such as references to the demon Chthon and the eventual introduction of vampires, who's to say Mephisto isn't right around the corner, waiting to take down the multiverse himself? Doctor Doom is commonly thought of as one of the smartest and most imposing villains in all of Marvel Comics. The ruler of his own country, Latveria, Doctor Doom's intelligence rivals that of Reed Richards, the leader of his greatest enemies, the Fantastic Four. With the Fantastic Four movie set to release as the first film in Phase 6, it's unknown if he will be used, or if they will save a possible Avengers-level threat for later, and have Marvel's first family battle Mole Man or something. However, with the announcement of Avengers Secret Wars, of which Victor Von Doom plays a paramount role in the comics, the pattern points to the Latverian leader's arrival into the MCU sooner rather than later. Him and Kang have a history of fighting too, and even though the battles are close, it's hard to beat a guy named Doom. Whether you like it or not, this is canon now. In the vast multiverse of the MCU, there is literally a robot with a metal baseball hat who has full omnipotent control over all of the events in the MCU, and his name is Kevin. She-Hulk, after accessing the real world, was able to convince Kevin to completely change the ending of her Disney Plus series, having insane implications on a wider universe. This all-knowing algorithmic robot has the ability to pull the plug on the entire universe if he so chooses. Heck, he's the one who has even written Kang into existence in the first place, and can just as easily write him out of it. What may have been kind of a lazy joke to begin with has accidentally turned into undeniably the most powerful being to exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. One of the most powerful races of beings in the entire multiverse of Marvel Comics is the Beyonders. The first of these beings introduced as a villain in the very first Secret Wars was simply known as the Beyonder. These beings have the ability to completely warp reality at will. They are essentially gods, capable of using heroes as playthings. The original Beyonder brought all of Marvel's heroes and all of Marvel's villains to one world called Battleworld for the war to commence, all for his own entertainment. He can create matter, make characters do anything, build and destroy planets, and quite literally bring an end to just about everything. The Beyonder is of such incredible power that other characters who merely get a taste of that power instantly become gods. And with Avengers Secret Wars announced, I am surprised we have not gotten some hints to this unbelievably powerful villain already. Heck, in the comics, I'm pretty sure he's already destroyed the multiverse once. I don't see why he wouldn't try to do it in the movies as well. I mean, listen, I'm a lot of talk, and while this list of people could outdo Kang, I certainly wouldn't want to face off against the Master of Time either. Just throw like MODOK at me or something. Who do you think poses the biggest threat to the multiverse?